riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Well, good morning. A new adventure begins today. We're going to Martha's Vineyard. We have a 45-minute drive to the ferry parking, and then we're gonna get on a ferry. And yeah, we've never been there before.
After driving across the Bourne Bridge here, we are now officially in Cape Cod. The way this works, we park at this large parking lot, and the shuttle will take us to the ferry terminal.
Here we are. Now let's get our tickets.
Here we are, about to depart from the Woods Hole terminal. This is so exciting. Ooh, that's a nice house right there.
And we're moving. Next stop, Bluffs.
Not the sunniest morning here, but I'm not complaining. It is still beautiful. Check out all those houseboats. In a different life, perhaps I would have loved to have one of those. I guess in theory I could still rent one, right? Anyway, there are two different ferries from here to Martha's Vineyard. One that goes to Vineyard Haven, and this one that goes to Oak Bluffs. And Martha's Vineyard is a fairly large place, so we're gonna need a vehicle. We could have taken Starship, but it is expensive, and it required reservations in advance, so we're going to do the next best thing. We're renting a vehicle. And not just any vehicle. Well, you'll see. That would be the Nubska Lighthouse. That's the other ferry, coming back from Martha's Vineyard, probably from Vineyard Haven. There's a smaller ferry coming back, the Governor, built in the 1950s, which brings me to the fact that all these vessels are pretty old. The one we're on, the Nantucket, was built in 1974. There's a lighthouse, the West Chop Light it must be. We'll probably see it from land later today. Now approaching the Vineyard Haven Harbor, and here's another view of the West Chop Lighthouse. The East Chop Light should be on the other side, both guarding the entrance to the harbor. There's the other lighthouse, the East Chop Light. I believe that's where we're going. Yep, that's Oak Bluffs, all right. Here we are. The first thing we're going to do is find some breakfast, and then we'll get the car. As I said, we could have brought Starship, but it was a little more of a hassle. And believe it or not, it would have been almost as expensive as renting a car. Ooh, art! Cool! And that's our ferry over there. Let's hope we don't get stranded on the island. Let me take a moment to tell you about our longest running sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Particularly important at a place like this when we're away from the RV, because in the RV we have our own internet usually, and that's a little safer. But out here, you're gonna have to connect to that potentially insecure Wi-Fi network, and you don't know, someone could be eavesdropping on that connection, potentially stealing your passwords, your identity.
Who knows? And that's where a VPN comes in handy. It's just an app on your phone and or your computer, tablet, streaming device. And basically what it does, it creates a secure private connection between your devices and the internet and the cloud. Just hit quick connect and it's going to connect to the closest, fastest server to where you are. Now, you don't have to connect to that fastest, closest, because let's say, for example, that I want to be somewhere else as far as the internet is concerned. And for example, there's some programming that may be available in the UK and not here. Well, just click on the United Kingdom, quick connect, and it's going to find the fastest server in the UK, and boom, we're in Glasgow. Just like that, like magic, teleported. And of course, it has other features. And let me show you, VPN being the main one, but you can also have an antivirus, and it does have a real-time protection, daily scans. It will alert you if any of your info was leaked, on the dark web or anywhere. It'll tell you. And it has a true incognito search for your eyes only. Not that we would ever want to hide anything, but it is there. Anyway, I have a great deal for you guys. Just go to surfshark.com/myrv and you'll get a great deal plus 4 months for free. Now let's explore Martha's Vineyard.
It looks like car rentals are totally a thing here in Martha's Vineyard. Or bikes, or mopeds, jeeps. Not a whole lot going on this early in the morning. Alright, let's have breakfast. I'm going to start with a latte with a view.
Got a bagel with scallion scrimshes and a latte.
I'm not a big bagel guy, Illy is. I'm more of a biscuit kind of person, but this one was particularly delicious. And it is the New England thing to do, right? Here we are, sun and fun, and yes, we are renting a Jeep.
Well, as you can see, we rented a Jeep. I'm trying to get acquainted with it, and yeah, we don't have a roof, which is strange, but we might put it back later. Anyway, we're gonna explore Martha's Vineyard now.
I've always wanted to drive one of these, but first I have to get acquainted with it. So far, very nice set of wheels. I love the turning radius. Our first point of interest is called Martha's Vineyard Camp Meeting Association. It is a religious campground from back in the 1800s, and it is famous for these colorful gingerbread houses. Let's see if we can find parking.
This is Martha's Vineyard Camp Meeting Association, a religious community since 1835, and it has all these cute gingerbread kind of houses.
Let's walk around a little. Yeah, I can see why this is one of the main attractions here. As the story goes, it all began in 1835, when a gentleman named Jeremiah Pease, along with 6 other men from the Edgartown Methodist Church, bought half an acre here to establish a religious camp, what became known as Wesleyan Grove. By 1855, the camp had grown to 100 tents, so eventually they had to purchase more land, a whole 26 acres, as the community eventually grew to a small city of 570 tents. Starting in the 1860s and beyond, they replaced the tents with 500 of these cottages, out of which 318 still remain. This was a great stop, something we definitely had to see. Now, moving right along. Oh, by the way, how do you like my Jeep? I almost wish we were in Utah. Take this baby for a ride and make it dirty.
I think we got a pretty good machine here. It's a shame they don't let you take it off-road, it's on the contract. Only on paved roads, but it feels like a waste of a great off-road machine. And one of the reasons why I rented this, because I'm thinking, future, if we get a Class C, and sometimes, we decide we want to tow something. Greg, Casita RV Life, I'm talking to you, and I'm really liking it.
Oh, it keeps going this way. It is a large community. Now, the idea is pretty much to drive all the way around the island, see some of the points of interest, and filming locations for the 1975 movie Jaws. Yeah, it was filmed here. By the way, I want to apologize for some of the bad audio quality in this episode. I had a microphone malfunction. This is going to be our first stop, the East Chop Lighthouse. Here it is, built in 1878. Oh yeah, this is the East Chop Lighthouse. Check it out. There's a West Chop as well that we're gonna see later. Which, by the way, I wouldn't say it is chilly, but it's not a warm summer day. You know, when the sun wants to come out, it's getting a little warmer. Yeah, let's go all the way here. Yeah, let's go all the way to the edge of this bluff here. See if there's any view. Oh yeah, there is nothing, just ocean views. Unfortunately, I believe the lighthouse only opens to the public on Sundays, so onward we go. It would have been interesting to see. But there's another lighthouse that is open today, so... Cow weather vane. That's different. Apparently, this house here coming up on the right was the location for the Brady house from the movie Jaws. The original house was torn down in 2002, so nothing remains. Not many sidewalks here in Martha's Vineyard, huh? This on the right is the Vineyard Haven Harbor as we approach Tisbury, which is the main town, Vineyard Haven being a community within the town. Here's the other ferry terminal. I wanted to see the other lighthouse, West Chop, but I think we just passed it. Let me turn around. I think we made a wrong turn. Let's go check out the West Chop Lighthouse now. This one doesn't seem to have parking, so we'll just take a quick look and continue. Next, we're driving to the west side of the island. And we're gonna check out Menemsha Beach along the way. As you may have noticed, it is a pretty large island, bigger than I thought for sure. It is a good 20 miles as the crow flies from one end to the other, and with the slow speed limit, it feels longer. Let's stop at this market and get some water. I always wanted to drive a convertible. It was Ili's idea. It says private road, so we must have made a wrong turn somewhere. Google Maps, not great here on the island. We're almost there, I think. We're arriving in Menemsha Beach and Menemsha Harbor. Let's take a break because it's been a long drive. All the available spots are only 30 minutes, so I guess that's all the time we have to explore Menemsha Beach. That's a cool sculpture right there. It is called the Swordfish and the Harpooner. and there's the beach. A little windy, and check out all the rules and regulations. Let's explore here a little bit on these rocks by the entrance to the harbor and Menemsha Creek. It is kind of windy, not very sunny, and to be honest, a little bit cold for beach going. But you know me and the beach, right? It's gotta be like 90 degrees. I don't see anybody in the water though. Here's looking towards the harbor, also a filming location for Jaws. I'm gonna start walking back to the car. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do here. We're not really hungry yet. Although, check out all this seafood. Yeah, that was Larson's Fish Market. Nothing like fresh seafood, and judging by the fishing boats, that place seems legit. Kind of makes me wish we had the portable refrigerator with us, so we could take some home. Next, we're going to the western tip of the island. There's another lighthouse there that seems to be open, and some cliffs, and another beach. There it is, the Gay Head Lighthouse.
Let's check out the clay cliffs and then the lighthouse.
Cool, they have a cafe and some shops.
We are here.
Let's check out the cliffs. That's a pretty nice view of the cliffs. The Aquina Cliffs. And there's the lighthouse. There's a trail that you can take to go down to the beach, but we're not gonna do that today. But the lighthouse? Yes, absolutely.
That will be Menemsha Beach, somewhere out there.
It goes quite a ways.
Now, let's go to the lighthouse.
Let's see if we can get to the top.
In my other job, this family came in and older sister,
Alright, this is really cool. It's only $6 to come up here, which, I mean, $6 seems reasonable. And they let you go all the way up to the lamp room. I guess they have to move it at some point.
As it happens with some of these lighthouses, because of erosion, sometimes they have to move them a little more inland. Ooh, and take a look at that battery bank. That's what we need in Minitini. The hardware seems a little more dated. I see no Victron or Santrex here. Let's go all the way to the top.
This is incredibly cool to be able to be out here with the lights. I've overheard them saying that they're replacing them with LEDs soon, so I mean, they put out quite a bit of heat up here. It is awesome.
I've been to a few lighthouses in my time, but I've never been to one where they let you stand up here, right next to the lamp. No Fresnel lens on this one anymore. This is what they call a directional code beacon, or arrow beacon.
Wow, look at this.
Did you notice? It is turning out to be a beautiful day. We have the cliffs down there, a private home it seems. Here's looking back west, towards where we were before, at the Aquina Cliffs overlook. And they have a circle marking where the lighthouse used to be before they moved it. And here we get a glimpse at the cliffs and Vineyard Sound.
Alright, let's go back down. Oh yeah, I was speaking to them over there, and yeah, there was a lot of erosion, and it was, about to fall off the cliff. The cliff kept coming this way. So that circle back there is where the lighthouse used to be originally. Yeah, this right here, this is a cliff. So it was getting too close for comfort, I guess. Alright, let's continue exploring Martha's Vineyard.
So to recap, we started at Oak Bluffs, stopped by the East and West Chop Lighthouses, then by Menemsha Beach and Gay Head, the westernmost point. And now we're going back east. We're gonna stop by Edgartown with a side trip to South Beach, and we'll see after that. This is the parking lot for South Beach, which was the actual beach in the movie Jaws. From now on, I'm just gonna refer to it as the movie. But tell you what, we've changed our minds. Let's go straight to Edgartown. Let's see if we can find something to eat. Maybe one final lobster roll in New England, eh? Anyway, fun fact here, Edgartown was the main town in the movie, Amity. And an even more interesting fact is that the Obamas own a mansion in the outskirts of town. I would take you there, but they didn't give me the address. Let's see if we can park and explore on foot a little. It's a busy little town. It seems even more popular than Oak Bluffs, but maybe it is the time of the day. Yeah, this would have been downtown Amity in the movie. Very picturesque town, let me tell you. Yes, found parking.
Well, here we are, Edgartown. Let's see what this town has to offer. Oh, miraculously found parking.
There are a bunch of restaurants, but we're feeling more and more inclined to just wait and eat somewhere in Oak Bluffs while we wait for the ferry. We're terrified of getting stranded on the island.
Check it out. Fly, pelican! We haven't seen a pelican in a while.
There's a ferry that goes to Chappaquiddick Island. It is called the Chappie Ferry, and it was in the movie too, and here it is. I gotta say it. This ferry pilot's got skills, let me tell you. It is a non-stop operation. Here we have yet another lighthouse. That would be the Edgartown Harbor Lighthouse. I've been told sailors spend most of the time motoring. Is that true? I think all we're going to do here is walk around a little bit. I mean, we're really tempted to eat here, but we're just gonna enjoy the sights on this quaint, quintessentially New England town and start heading back. We had an early start today, and to be honest, we're a little tired. Perhaps we're doing it wrong, huh? Instead of trying to cram as much as possible in one day, Martha's Vineyard is perhaps a place best enjoyed at more leisure. Better planned, bringing our car in the ferry and spending at least a couple of nights. But this is our first time, and we just wanted to see if the island lived up to the hype.
we're gonna have lunch at Oak Bluffs instead, just in case, you know. I mean, Oak Bluffs, we're right next to the ferry, and we don't want to miss the ferry back to the mainland. Especially today, I think a lot of people are gonna be taking that ferry. Well, even though we were an hour ahead of schedule at the beginning of the day, we're not gonna be able to see everything we wanted to see because, of course, everything always takes longer than expected. But you know, having a convertible, great experience. And we're now gonna see the Jaws Bridge, which they even named it after the movie, so something happened there in the movie. And then we're going back to town, and we're gonna return this and have lunch, late lunch.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we're filming this on Monday, Labor Day, the end of Labor Day weekend, the end of the summer vacation season. Yeah, many places in the Northeast are only open Memorial Day to Labor Day. A foreign concept for us, but here that's the way it is. We're here enjoying the last few days of summer before the leaves start to turn and then fall. And before you know it, a cold white precipitation, yeah, snow will start falling from the sky. Which, by the way, I know Martha's Vineyard stays open year-round, but some businesses do close. And I'm sure it's a totally different vibe.
Alright, let's check out the Jaws Bridge. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have rewatched the movie before coming here because it's been so many years that I don't really remember. I'll probably rewatch it as I'm editing this video.
No diving or jumping from the bridge. I don't think anybody abides by that rule here.
I guess jumping off the bridge is nowadays totally a thing. I think our time with the Jeep here is coming to an end. Actually, let me check out the other side.
This is the boundary between Edgartown and Oak Bluffs.
Oak Bluffs, relatively new, but Edgartown is incorporated 1671. They keep jumping off the bridge. That's amazing.
We're once again arriving in Oak Bluffs, where we're going to return the Jeep. We had our fun, but now it is time to enjoy this town on foot and have something to eat, finally. Beautiful waterfront houses here. Here on the left, Ocean Park, surrounded by these Victorian houses and lots of Canada geese. We're right by the ferry terminal.
Well, that was kind of informal for a car rental. I mean, you don't have to sign anything. I did an online signature, but like when you return it, just give them the keys and that's it.
Oak Bluffs is happening today.
I mean, per hour, that was probably the most expensive car rental ever. But then again, you know, they take advantage of the fact that if you bring your car here, you're gonna pay almost as much. So it's convenient. and I'm glad we did it. We got to see most of the things we wanted to see in the island. Maybe I should have rented a Corvette. Maybe next time, huh?
This is it. Lookout Tavern. It looks lively. We're not getting much of a view, but it's okay.
It's a Captain's Daughter double IPA. It's really good.
It's a BLT lobster roll.
Take a look at the size of that. Well, what was probably our last New England lobster roll was probably the most unusual one. Lobster BLT, that's what they have there. And the Cajun fries were perhaps a little too Cajun, but they were really good too. And the 345 ferry is leaving now, but we're probably gonna wait for the 520 just to walk around town a little bit.
There goes the 345. We'll get on the next one. Let's check out the Flying Horses, America's oldest carousel, built in 1876. It was moved here from New York City in the 1880s. It is one of only a handful of carousels that still have brass rings for a rider to attempt to grab them as the carousel rotates. That's pretty cool. I had never seen that before.
Very cool, from 1876. It's a classic. It's got like the original organ and all that, and then I guess you're supposed to collect those rings and put them on the horse. And I don't know if you win something. I didn't go in to find out. But we want some ice cream. That's what we want. Maple walnut. Oh, that's good. Big Dipper. That's one of the best ice creams I've had in a while. It is called Family.
We have about an hour to kill, so we're just going to walk around the park. This is the Soldiers Memorial Monument, the Trinity Episcopal Church. As I said, let's walk around the park. Here we have a frog, a praying frog.
Just going for a leisurely walk here while we wait for the 520 ferry. It's quite a charming town with all these facades.
They are all very pretty, but this one in particular is quite exquisite.
Almost $7 million. And this one is like 5. Yeah, Belly Camp Vineyard is gonna have to wait. Here comes our ride.
And now the weather vane is a whale. pretty long line to get on the ferry.
Yeah, the long line is for the sea strip.
Waiting to board. That's a lot of vehicles getting back. No wonder we couldn't get a ticket for Starship. Saying goodbye to Martha's Vineyard. Until next time. Oh, they are holding up the boat for these folks.
Yeah, Palmer Avenue right there.
On the next one, we have one more stop in Massachusetts, and in New England for that matter. We're going to Salem, before heading to Pennsylvania and eventually back to Florida.